My name is Rohnak Sharma, and I am the art director for Prom Fever. I joined in November 2020, and it all started when I got an email to my university email address, which was basically along the lines of this group is looking for filmmakers. They've reached out to the university because they know that we're doing film related courses. They're looking for new members, so to give it some consideration. So then I applied. I applied as crew because at the time I didn't have much experience in the film industry. I kind of sidestepped into it from more of a graphic design background, and I was just starting out, but I still felt like it would be really good to jump in head first as much as I can, and that's what I did. They liked my enthusiasm, and I was on board as crew. Since then, I've done a lot of webinars for filmmaking, which have all been wonderful. As soon as I found out about Set Ready, I felt like it was a perfect opportunity for me. So I applied, and here I am, with a role much higher than what I was expecting. But I still feel good. I'm like, this is a big step for me. What excites me most is definitely the premise. I really like films that are this sort of coming of age story, a sort of story that a lot of people can relate to, um, especially with the pandemic and grades being given out based on an algorithm. I was actually part of the year that had to deal with that. I didn't do my A levels, so I definitely have a sort of attachment to the story in that way, and I really feel like it's an issue that didn't get as much attention as others relating to the pandemic, but it's definitely something people need to hear about, and I'm glad that I'm part of a team telling a story that deals with that. Well, my university course is quite technical. It's more on the technical side of film. So there are quite a lot of software that I've learned in that time, and I'm looking forward to applying them for this film. The one that I would be most enthusiastic about is definitely DaVinci Resolve Cover, which is a very wide, very complex grading software. It has lots of different sort of dials, buttons, and that's what I really like about this type of technical work. It's so expansive. There's dozens of ways to get any result that you want, and it's as much about experimentation as it is being technical. And I've done a lot of that experimentation with the software. I've developed some techniques which I think are quite cool, and I would definitely want to see if they can be applied here. I was definitely quite introverted at that time. It's only recently that I've started to be more vocal and put myself out there more. But at that time, yes, I was very quiet. I was a bit of a teacher's pet. I always got my work done on time, always quiet in the background, kind of. And while that was fine, I guess, I definitely feel a lot more confident now. I definitely feel more willing to speak about things. So back then I was, really shy, I would say. Yeah, I would say back in my uh, high school sixth form days, I was definitely a lot like the character of Emily. I was quite, like I said before, shy and introverted. I didn't want to draw a lot of attention to myself, but at the same time, I did have a lot of that anxiety about, am I doing good enough? Is my work at a high enough quality? And I guess I see a lot of myself when I look at the script and the characters' lines and what they were going through in the story. Uh, well, I did have one in mind already when I was working on some of the work for this film. Um, and my favourite house film by far, it has to be Baby Driver. It's so flashy, slick, fun to watch. I feel like you can have all the research into cinematography, sound design, things like that, but at the end of the day, the film has to be fun to watch. It has to keep your interest. And this film definitely did that. The characters were all really well crafted. They were such a the action scenes and the music. I think that was the main thing. It gave it the sort of like vibe of like a heightened reality, very stylistic. And I love films that do that. A lot of house films do that. That's why I like the genre as a whole. They're sort of very slick, show off kind of visuals. In 10 years, I would definitely like to be working in the industry, uh, probably at a animation house because that's what I'm studying at university at the moment. So I'd like to see myself uh, working for one of the big names in UK animation companies like Industrial Light and Magic, DMAG, Blue Zoo, somewhere like that is where I really want to be at that time, uh, hopefully. And I want to make short films as well, maybe even get some awards under my belt. That's something that I feel is a long-term goal for me. And also just to develop my skills, build a really good portfolio, and basically have a lot of work under my belt in a way. Well, I'm always building my portfolio and always adding new animation work, texture work, lighting work to that. That's more of the um, technical side of it. But yeah, I'm also at the moment planning my own short film, which I will be writing, directing, and working on the animation. It's a short film inspired by Frankenstein. It's sort of a modern retelling, but it goes in the opposite direction of it, in that the monster, quote unquote, is created because the creator doesn't want to deal with their loss, essentially. It deals with a lot of themes of loss and grief. I think it will be visually striking, but also a really emotional story. There's definitely one thing that stands out as the main struggle, and that's, of course, by disability. It definitely at times makes things less straightforward. For example, if I need to be somewhere at a certain time, it's not a case of just hopping on public transport and getting there. I have to coordinate accessible transport. I'd have to change the timing of all my medications. And there's a lot that goes into things that are simple for other people that might take a bit more effort for me to figure out. But it's never been too much of a setback because I'm I've always been willing to sort of put in the extra time, extra planning to make sure that either I can work around it or it can work around me. So if anyone else is struggling with a similar thing, my advice would be either work around the issue or make the issue work around you. But um, always keep striving to do the next thing and don't let it slow down your progress.